Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I am Meg and I am showing you today how to use a paint sprayer on a little 3-drawer dresser. It is super cute. I can't wait to show you, and if you are looking for more details about the paint sprayer, I have a video called how to use my Wagner Flexio 5000, so check that out on my channel, see what you think, and I'm sure it will really help you and give you some pointers and tips. I am going to show you a few things in this video while I'm making this dresser over. I will show you how to use certain settings and show you how this paint sprayer sprays. So enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching. Here is this cute little antique 3-drawer dresser. It is so adorable and I couldn't wait to get started. So I took off the old hardware because I was not going to keep these. I'm going to be changing them up for something else that will match the piece much better. Then I cleaned it down with Windex and just paper towel. You can also use crud cutter like a degreaser or soap and water. Make sure that you get all of the dirt off. Then I pulled the drawers out and sanded every single area of the piece because you do not want any area left that's too smooth for your paint. I then cleaned it once again to get all of that sanding dust off. Then I decided to sand down the top. I wanted a raw wood look, so I used my orbital sander, and I get asked a lot what's connected to it. That is my shop vac and the connector. So the Bosch sander comes with a connector. And then my orbital was not cutting it with this piece, so I used my rigid belt sander, which gets off everything. I then wiped down the top and made sure that the entire piece was clear of dust. And now I'm using Country Chic Paint Bonding Primer, which is an awesome primer if you have a really smooth finish. So even after sanding this piece, it was still too smooth and I did not want any paint peeling. So I used my Country Chic Paint Oval brush and brushed on the bonding primer, making sure to get all of the areas, including the sides. So because I knew that I was going to be spray painting, I covered the top with blue painter's tape. This stuff is amazing. You can find it on Amazon and I will link it in my description. So I know this is about paint spraying, but I was brush painting to begin with. So what I did was brush paint first because I had furniture in my workshop that I didn't want to get spray paint on. So I eventually was able to spray paint, which I'm going to show you very soon. So here I decided to match the top with the bottom trim, so I sanded it down to raw wood using my orbital sander. So I knew I had something special that I wanted to do, and here is what I'm doing. I'm adding stripes to the bottom wood trim. Make sure that you have really good frog tape, the green tape. I then made sure that they were completely sealed to the surface and then trimmed off the excess tops with an X-Acto knife. All right, so here's what you've been waiting for. I am starting to get my spray paint ready. So make sure that you have really good paint filters. I'll link them again in my description. Filter your paint and add a little bit of water if your paint is too thick. Same with primer, add a little bit of water to thin it. My airflow on my Wagner sprayer is 7 to 8, and then the dial for paint and primer, I roll up clockwise and make sure that your nozzle is on really tight. So when you turn it on and the air comes through, make sure your nozzle is tight again because it can loosen. And then here I am spraying the entire piece in Country Chic Paint Peacoat, which is a navy blue. Now, if you click the link above, I do have another video that talks about my Wagner Flexio 5000 sprayer. It has all the details in there, so you can just click that link. Now make sure that you sand in between every single coat with 600 grit sandpaper or 1000 grit sanding block. Now I know that looks scary on the surface, it's just the sanding dust, that's all. I then use a cloth to remove all of that dust, and I even use the air from my paint sprayer to just blow away any dust that there is. So I'm about to spray my second coat of Country Chic paint. Now again, make sure that you thin your paint out if it is too thick, which I do with Country Chic paint and primer. And the fun part, this was so satisfying. I loved this part. It's so fun taking off all of the tape and just seeing what's underneath. It looked really beautiful. Now my lighting does show that it's orange, but it's not. So I got started on the two bottom drawers. I wanted tissue paper, so I used Redesign with Prima tissue paper. And what I did is brush on Country Chic paint clear coat, which is a top coat, and you can use that with tissue paper, or if you don't have that, you can get Mod Podge. Just make sure that you put a really thin layer and that it's not too saturated and wet, that it's going to go right through the tissue paper. Now I will say this tissue paper brand is quite thick, which I absolutely love, and that way it doesn't tear easily. This is such a pretty floral design. So I do have ideas for the edges because, yes, as you can see, it doesn't fit the entire drawer width-wise, which is fine, and I'll show you what I end up doing. So place down your tissue paper, make sure that you put some extra clear coat at the edges so that it stays down, and then you're going to brush the clear coat over the top to seal it. Now you can wait until the bottom one is dry, but I just went ahead and painted the clear coat over it. So because I painted my dresser in a dark navy blue, the tissue paper with the top coat will come out a bit darker. But if you paint it white or a light color, then you will see the white come through because the tissue paper is see-through. Once I had gotten the top coat all over the top, I used an X-Acto knife to cut off the excess material or tissue paper at the bottom. So I added something a little different at the ends. I used part of a Redesign with Prima Style and Stick stencil. I just cut off a design that I liked off of the Casablanca tile design. And then I used my paint, Forever Pink, and just dabbed on the paint where the tissue paper didn't cover, and it looked really good. So then I filtered through my clear coat for my top coat for the entire piece, and then started spraying the first coat. So I did about 3 coats of this sealer. Make sure that you let dry fully in between coats. This Wagner Flexio 5000 sprayer really does spray on a smooth finish. You can see that sheen there. It looks so good. You can even sand in between coats with 1,000 to 2,000 grit sandpaper. Make sure it is a very light sandpaper or sanding block. And with top coat, I turned down my dial anti-clockwise just a little bit, but the same airflow, 7-8. And here it is. It looks so cute. I love how the tissue paper turned out with the stencil and the wood stripes and the wood top. It looks really, really good. And I'm just so happy with how my paint sprayer gave me the best finish on this piece. So thank you for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it really helps you learn how to use your paint sprayer. I know that it can be intimidating, but don't be afraid. Just try it out. Practice, practice, practice. Practice on a piece or a piece of wood before you start spraying on furniture. So again, you can check out my other video, how to use a Wagner Flexio 5000. If that's the one that you have, you can see the settings that I use and check it out and see what you think. So again, thank you, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I will be seeing you next week with another video. Take care.